Actual Asexuality by an Actual Asexual. My name is Mag Piper, and I will be your host as usual. Sorry about my voice, I'm coming down off a cold. Nothing tea with copious amounts of honey won't fix. I'm also recording from my dining room instead of my closet because I'm recording on a different day of the week, but that's beside the point. Today's episode is brought to you by the army of squirrels in my pocket. They want you to know that you are loved and supported. You know who else is loved and supported? At Salty Fohawk on Twitter. He drew some really lovely fan art and I almost cried. Speaking of Twitter, I said I'd update y'all on the possibility of a Discord server based on a poll on my Twitter. While the overall consensus was positive, the survey size was not scientifically viable, so we're going to pass on Discord for now. You guys are totally welcome to slide into my DMs or shoot me an email though, and I will answer ASAP because I thrive on attention. Also, y'all should check out the podcast Sounds Fake But Okay. They just reached their 100th episode. I hope someday I get to 100 episodes, but I'm not even at 10 yet. Anyways, their Twitter is @SoundsFakePod. Sounds Fake But Okay is a podcast about asexuality too, and the hosts, well, I look up to them a ridiculous amount. Their podcast makes me laugh and cringe in equal measure. It's great. Okay, moving on. First up, I wanted to talk about a lovely experience I had last week. After a few Google searches, I managed to discover a group of fellow aces who meet in the next town over. It's an hour-and-a-half drive for me, but going over there every other week to spend time with people who I can relate to is definitely worth it. We met at a coffee shop. I got lost because Google Maps hates me, but I was in the right parking lot, so eventually we made our way to it. Yes, I said we, and I wasn't talking about the squirrels this time. I had alighted, I love that word, from my car to begin my search on foot, when another vehicle drove up beside me and asked if I needed a ride. Lo and behold, it was someone I'd met on Tinder. Yes, I had a Tinder. More on that later. My new friend and I found the coffee shop soon after. I'd been on the opposite side of the parking lot. There were a couple of people from the group already there when we went in, and to be completely honest, that was all I had been expecting. Lo and behold, eventually we had to move outside because more and more people showed up. I think there were at least 10 or 12 people around the push-together tables by the time we all went around and introduced ourselves. I know I talked about how nice it was to have someone else to talk to in the LGBTQIA+ community in episode 6, but having an entire group of people who I could talk to specifically about asexuality, what a rush. We didn't actually talk much about asexuality, mostly Halloween costumes and fan fiction. But I was so comfortable in that group that I didn't realize 2.5 hours had passed until there were only 4 of us left. It was wild and so nice. I will hereafter be attending as regularly as I can, taking into account gas prices and work schedules. If there's an asexual group in your area, I suggest taking a chance and checking it out. It's worth it. Okay, now let's take on Tinder. Not literally. Their lawyers are probably better than my squirrels. Yes, I have a Tinder. Well, had. Past tense. It was fun, in a way. The app recently, well, not too recently, but in the last year, added a few options to choose from as far as sexuality goes. Asexuality is now one of the options. Yay! But don't use Tinder. It's not friendly to trans people. Boo. Anyways, it was fun because cisgender heterosexual men do not have any reading comprehension skills whatsoever. Or they do, and willfully ignore things. I'm not sure which one annoys me the most. I present female, despite being a genderless being of the void, mainly because it's less hassle. This means that straight white men think that means I am obviously interested in sex, despite my sexuality being listed as no. I had to change my bio no less than 3 times. Originally, it just said asexual. Some people asked what it meant and then ghosted me, and other people said, "Wanna have sex?" And so I blocked them. Boom. One memorable individual, after saying hello, said, "I am submissive." So I changed my bio. "I'm just looking to make new friends," it said. One young man used crying emojis when I told him I wouldn't go out drinking and then have sex with him. Others continued to ask about my willingness to copulate. Which, please. Again, I changed it. Not looking for sex, just want to make new connections. Cisgender, heterosexual men kept asking about sex. Do they just swipe right without reading bios? I had an entire list of criteria when swiping. Granted, the first item on the list was, if they have a dog, swipe right, no questions. But the rest were great. At least a one-sentence bio, more than one picture, they had to be smiling in at least one of the photos. That's reasonable, right? The last time I changed it before ridding myself of the app was, I'm just looking for a platonic, no sex involved relationship right now. That seems fairly straightforward. None of those are difficult dictionary words. Or so I thought. Apparently not. Some cishet guy asked, what does platonic no sex relationship mean? A friendship, Carl. Haha, so wanna have sex? Dag nabbit. The only thing I'll miss about the app is the guy that just sent fun science/history facts back to me after I sent my favorite fun fact to start the conversation. Did you guys know that the shortest war in history only lasted 38 minutes? Crazy, right? I did meet a friend, though, and I am very, very grateful. When I saw Arrow Ace in her bio, I didn't even hit the rest of my checklist. I swiped right immediately. Swiping right is liking their profile. I don't think I mentioned that, and I shouldn't assume you guys automatically know that. My bad. She's awesome. Fun fact, she's the first person I've met both on Tinder and in real life. Remind me to tell you all the story of the Tinder dude who helped me realize I was Arrow. Good times. She also introduced me to an app called ASAP. It's your basic dating app, but for those of us who are aspec. I was absolutely thrilled. I'd never heard of it before, but it sounded great. Here's where stuff gets absolutely bonkers. A day or so after I downloaded and registered, I got a message. It was from an individual with no profile image and an extremely generic username. They said, "Your profile just made me halt on the spot. Cute, but why? Want a friend or relationship with you, I'm not after the fun." Doubtful, but this is an app for aces. "I will start assist you financially." My red flags were waving when I hit the username, but if they hadn't, this would have tipped me off. "With allowance of $800. That's like half what I make in a month. I need it. But also, this is a spam account or something. I told my friend about it. She laughed and said she got the same sort of message, and then said the exact same username as my spam message. If this fellow had been real, what kind of money does he have laying around? I screenshotted the message and put it in one of the Discord servers I'm in for laughs. Another girl says, "Hey, I got that message too." That's some stupid as heck rich guy offering $24,000 a month. God, I wish that were me. If I had that much money to just throw around. Man. Well, I didn't expect that all to take up so much time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. You can find me on Twitter at NeedSpacePod or email me at weneedspace.podcast@gmail.com. Like I said, if you send me a message, I will get back to you ASAP. We Need Space produces a new episode every other Monday. I'd love to hear any and all feedback. I also have a Ko-fi page with the link in the description as well as my Twitter bio. But worry not if you can't donate. Even something like sharing this podcast with your friends helps me feed my squirrels. The music I use is Mirror Mirror by Diamond Ortiz. We Need Space updates every other Monday on YouTube and SoundCloud. This has been Mag Piper, and thank you all so much for listening.